In 5, 4, 3, 2. Transplant Alliance is saving lives every single day, but during the height of the pandemic, they had to pivot. What they did that was so amazing is next on The Jeff Crilley Show.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is The Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, just about all of us know the importance of organ donation, but during the height of the pandemic, there was something of a crisis in the world of organ donation because of the limitations on people coming into hospitals. To talk about that right now, the CEO and president of Southwest Transplant Alliance, Patti Niles. Thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff. It's an honor to be here.
Yeah, so it didn't occur to me until I invited you on the show that, gosh, they really didn't want anybody other than the doctors and the patients in the hospital.
Well, you probably heard a lot of stories about families that weren't able to go with their loved one, which was traumatic. So we also experienced that. The hospitals really didn't want us in the hospitals. It was a trying time of figuring out how to continue business, how to continue transplants, because these people were still waiting. We have 10,000 people just in Texas waiting for a life-saving transplant. So we couldn't push pause. We couldn't wait. We had to continue, and we had to find another way to do business.
Wow. So what did you do?
So we, within 7 days, we came up with a plan of finding a way to move our donors from their originating hospital to another center here in Dallas. We had a little hospital that was only doing elective surgery, so they had an empty hospital. They weren't doing anything. We partnered with them. So we started moving our donors. So it took away the fear our staff had. Our staff were really afraid of walking into hospitals that had COVID. They weren't sure which patients did, which patients didn't, so they were afraid. The hospitals were afraid of having us come in. So we started moving the donors. We transported them to this facility that had the intensive care units that we needed. They had the operating rooms, the lab, everything that we needed to continue doing business. So we never slowed down. We kept right on. And as a matter of fact, we've even done better than previous years. So we're continuing on that mission.
That is so inspired. And as I was preparing for this show, I found a wonderful video on your website. Let's go ahead and roll that now.
Because of you, my brother's legacy continues. My dad is still here with us today. Kurt was able to see his first grandson born, and 2 gentlemen in South Africa can now see.
Because of y'all, my grandkids got to know me, and I've been able to enjoy the bluebonnets at my ranch 12 more years and counting.
Because of you, I'm celebrating my 7th extra birthday since my transplant on 2/6/14. And because of you, I also was able to become a mom to 2 wonderful little boys this year.
Because of you, I get a second chance at life, one that doesn't include heart disease. Forever grateful to you and my donor.
Because of you, my great uncle was able to meet his great grandchildren.
Because of you, I now have a master's degree.
Because of you, I can go on long walks with my husband again.
Because of you, I've seen both sons graduate from college. I've met my daughter-in-law. I've celebrated my 30th wedding anniversary and 6 birthdays.
Hello, my name is Susan Burrell. And because of you, my husband Ruben received a life-saving liver transplant 7 years ago. My husband has been able to attend our kids' band competitions, softball games, track meets, basketball games, and soccer games. My husband and I will celebrate our 30th wedding anniversary this June. From the bottom of my heart, I thank you.
20 seconds.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you for all you do.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for all that you did for me.
Wow, Patti, I got goosebumps. I mean, that was such a beautifully produced video because I think it puts a face on the cause. It must be so rewarding for you to work for such an amazing organization.
It is. I've been doing this for 30 years, and when I think about the number of people that have been impacted from some of the work I've done, it is rewarding, and that's why I love what I do. I'm extremely passionate. I know most of those people in the video, and I can tell you their stories, and those are the people I work for, and there's thousands more just like them. So every day I get up and we run fast because it's needed.
Well, you can tell it's not about Patti with her organization, so she wouldn't bring this up, but I will. She is one of the honorees of this year's Dallas Business Journal Women in Business Award. We're going to show the article. Congratulations.
Thank you.
That's got to feel so good.
It does. It does. It was an honor.
So let's talk about your new facility because I know you're really excited about it. And today is orientation day.
It is. This week we're bringing all of our all of our employees in to get a feel of the building. It's really going to change how we do business and how we do transplants in Texas. All the COVID stuff that I talked about with moving the donors, that was like preparation for this new facility. So we're excited to get it wrapped up and done.
And I think that's an artist conception of the building.
It
is that right?
looks just like that.
It looks just like it.
Yeah.
Dude, are you so excited?
Oh, extremely. I walk through it and I'm like, pinch me. It's because it was for 7 years I've been planning this. So to have it work out has been great.
Yes. Tell me, what's the most difficult thing for you in terms of telling your story? Do you find that as much press as you've received, are people still surprised or don't know your story?
Always. Organ donation is only important when it's important. When it touches you, that's when it becomes important and you want to know more. I was a nurse for years and never had experienced that donation side of it. And I remember the first time it really impacted me. It made such a difference. I wanted to learn more, which took me down this path of my career. But I used to ask people when I would talk about donation, did they know anyone who's received a transplant? And most likely they hadn't 30 years ago. Now, I bet you know someone or someone who knows someone who's had a transplant because it's more common and it's an easier procedure than it used to be many years ago.
So all of us are probably familiar with it because when we get our driver's license renewed, they ask us, any idea what percentage of Texans have checked the right box?
Over 50% of the adult population have signed up to be an organ donor. And the other 50%, it isn't because they don't want to donate. A lot of people have that fear of, if I put it on there, that means I'm going to die. If I put it on there, they're not going to want to save my life. And I can assure you, as the background in nursing, I was a bedside nurse for many years. It's not the case. We're there to save your life. You know, when you work in a hospital, it's all about saving that life in front of you, not trying to get organs for somebody across the country or another piece of the state. So it's all about saving your life. So you can put that fear aside. It's not true.
So what's your greatest need right now?
It's always kidneys because you have a backup. If my kidneys are failing, I can go on dialysis. It's a very tough life to live on dialysis. You have to be there 3 days a week, sometimes 8 hours a day, so you can't work full time. So you have a backup. You can last longer without that kidney. If you need a heart or lung, your days are numbered. So the fact that we can get 2 kidneys from each donor obviously makes it easier. So most of the list is comprised of people waiting for a kidney transplant.
How has it been over the years? How many people do you help? Do you have any numbers?
I do. When I started in this position in Dallas 7.5 years ago, we were doing about 700 transplants a year. This year we're on target to do 1,400, and I'm really proud of that number because it's not just a number, it's about lives saved. So when you think about 700 to 1,400, that's a big leap.
Absolutely.
And this is why this facility that we're doing is going to help us even do more.
You know what impresses me is that when you were watching that video, you said you knew those people. So you actually get to meet the recipients?
I do, and I have to because that's why I do what I do. I mean, I also like the donor family side. You know, the tragic losses, knowing that we've made a little bit of a difference in their lives and they have something positive to hold on to. I remember one of the donor moms I used to work with, she said when she was at her lowest and her heart was just broken because she lost her daughter, she would pull out the thank you letters from the recipients that said, thank you so much, this gift is how it impacted me. And she said reading that letter was like a Band-Aid to my heart. It wasn't going to stay on, but it helped me get through that day. And so it's that full circle. It's where grief and gratefulness really come together.
Every once in a while we'll see a news story where the families get to meet. Have you ever been there
for
one of those?
Lots, many. I love those. It is truly touching. I cry every time I see them because there's this instant connection and there's this instant admiration and love for each other. The recipients, it's hard for the recipients to know that someone died and now you have their organ. It's hard for them to accept. So when they meet the families, it's emotional for them. It's a tough time, but it's also a very touching time.
Well, we're almost out of time, so final thoughts you want to leave the audience with?
I always have to say, if you want to sign up to be an organ donor, go to donatelife.org to sign up.
Awesome. We're going to put the website up so everybody can see organ.org.
Or you can go to organ.org. It's even easier.
We'll navigate to it. So thank you. Yes. Patty, you're amazing. You're such an inspiration, and I can see the joy in your eyes that you're blessed enough to work at such a wonderful organization. And
Appreciate it.
That's it for now. We'll see you next time.